Hey! Welcome to the Ride the Wave show. I am your host, Clay. We got the audio working now, and we got a jam-packed show today. We're going to have first on the dynamic duo of Millie and Maggie Holbrook coming on to discuss their big rematch here on Wednesday against Fairland. Should be a good one. And then after that, we got Alex Prader. Didn't realize how much of a dog he was, so can't wait to have a chat with him. As always, got Adam B-Dubs here in the house. Adam B-Dubs. Now, Adam, you look forward to our guest today because we have a live studio guest that we're not going to announce just yet.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to – I always look forward to Mondays. Mondays are some of my favorite days. Most people hate Mondays, not this guy, because I get to come here and hang out with my best friends.
And that's what we kind of want the show to be. Stop hating Mondays because that's the day you get to ride that wave, baby.
Yeah, you get to ride it into the rest of the week.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and start getting into some sports. We just want to congratulate – baseball's back, baby. Woo! Baseball's back. Cubs won. Signed Cody Bellinger. Got blown out after that. I mean, I hate whenever, you get big news for a franchise, go out, lost literally 8-0. I mean, it blown out. I mean, I know it's just summer ball, whatever, but, man, that was kind of sad to see. Now, I
don't think there's a whole lot of weight with baseball early. I don't really think there's a lot of weight with baseball until you get about April, May-ish.
Yeah, I just liked,
It's just back, though.
We're back, baby. I've been playing some MLB The Show 24, realized I suck. I was like, man, I'm really good. Then it upgraded me to the all-star level. Can't get a hit in at all.
Yeah, I'll say shout out to you for actually playing on it, the actual difficulties, because I just keep mine on the lowest one so that if I'm hitting pitching, I'll, experiment and go, high, low when it comes to, difficulty. But hitting, I just have to throw it right down the plate, surf me up, and I like
pitching because I always had the mind for pitching, but, not have the ability.
Yeah. I have the mind for it.
So you play MLB The Show, you're like, finally, man, I got to put this brain to work.
I know. I can paint them corners up, make them batters look stupid.
One thing that I really actually hate that I think a lot of people will say that they like is that when the umps, in the game, call it wrong. If it's clearly right, it's like, no.
Yeah.
It's a robot, man.
I have mine set to where it's a little bit more human aspect of it.
No, me too.
Well,
it pisses me off.
Well, it's funny. I don't know if this is just coincidence or not, but anytime they give me a couple that are just bad, what I do is I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to put one right at this ump's head. And, they'll step out of the way of it, and it's like, well,
maybe that's the real reason we were never pitchers. It's because we may have had some attitude problems.
I just feel like he signals it. He's like, hey, this one's going to be a little high. Make sure if you don't catch this one.
Want to get the word out. I was on the Feels Like Home podcast with Mike Throne and Marty. They had a dope setup. Marty had an amazing special guest in the house. Multi-sectional championship coach, went to a lot of district titles, won the league in 1993, the one and only Dave Shoemaker! Woo! Woo! Every time
is that a chicken wing on the keychain?
Yeah.
Chicken wing.
I love it.
Hell yeah. Now, every time you do that woo, I want to say, I might have to move that table out there a little bit. Every time you do that woo, I think I tell you this, it reminds me of the Parks and Rec guy. Which is people just want to go out and woo. Yeah. But, Coach, no, good time for you to come in here. Also an alumni of the Feels Like Home podcast. Amazing guys, the Mike Thrones podcast.
Oh, yeah. I've been on it.
Did you get to see the racetrack down in the basement?
I don't remember that.
Marty has, dude, whatever those cars are they put on and it drives around the track.
Sounds like it really felt like home while you were there.
Dude, it did. It was awesome. Go check it out. Now, we have a lot of amazing topics.
Is it Feels Like Home or No Place Like Home?
I think it's No Place Like Home.
Okay, because in Clay's notes, I just saw him say No Place Like Home.
They don't have the Wizard of Oz vibe going on.
Might have to check real quick. I want to make sure I got that right because then I'll feel bad.
I just saw in the notes you had to ask something different, so I was like, I want to.
Yeah, because that would be terrible to try and shout out a podcast. It Feels Like Home.
Oh, we have it. We have it.
You got that up, Andy? There we go. Yep, the Feels Like Home podcast. Make sure you guys go check that out. They also have an episode Ben Hartsock. JT was on there. Dave Shoemaker was on there. It was it's a good time. And
listen to it today. You were the perfect guest because they throw out a question. You'd talk for 7 minutes.
Yeah, I did not know how to shut up on that one. I felt weird. I kept waiting for Mike to come in there. Never came in. I was like, all right.
That used to happen to me, on the post-game show in WKKJ. and I'd be answering a question, and suddenly it would register in my mind, I don't know how to wind this up. I don't know how to end
It's like
my
in
answer.
The Office where Michael Scott's like, sometimes I start a sentence and I don't know where it's going, and I hope I find it along the way. Like, that's truly what it felt like. Because
figure out a way to close it.
They'd ask me a question, and I'd start with a topic, and then somehow I get way over here. Have no idea how I got there. But, man, it was a good time. I'm blessed that they let me to be on that podcast. And they are true winners with that podcast. I mean, they are doing some big things. They had some big guests. But we like to have conversations with winners as well. And none bigger than the two winners that we have here, the SVC Player of the Year and District Player of the Year, and an absolute lockdown threat on the defensive end, Millie and Maggie Solber. How's it going, guys?
Hello. Good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, dude, good. So, hey, first off, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. Congratulations on all the awards. Now, Maggie, I didn't want to say it wrong because I couldn't remember if you did you get third team? Did you get honorable mention? Can you let us know on that one real quick?
I got third team.
Third team. I knew it. She had to be on one of those teams. Absolute dog. Now, hold on. Adam, check. Yeah. We got our dog checks on right here. Got the dog hat.
Mine doesn't really fit with
Adam's doesn't really fit on his, but Shu actually gave me that one. It is dog check. But we're going to put these on here for our dogs on the screen. Now, Maggie, I want to start with you. The way that you've been face guarding here, we actually talked with your coach about it a little bit ago. You know, with Coach Shu here, I got to be the privilege of being the face guarder. What is your mindset when you're out there? Because to be a face guarder, you have to be annoying. And I've met you in person. You're not. You're actually very nice, very friendly. So I want to know what your mindset is when you're trying to defend the other person's best player.
Honestly, all I want to do is get in their heads because, you know, growing up, I was always surrounded with face guarding. And, like, you know, it's one of those things of where I know my role. I just need to completely shut someone out. So my role is to really get in their heads. You know, I kind of want to make them frustrated, you know, make them mad almost. So recently what I've been doing is, like, I've been getting all up in their, you know. And growing up, it was kind of one of the things that I grew up around. And, you know, the age of basketball right now, it's like I just kind of grew up with, like, knowing what an aggressive defender is, and that's kind of how I take on my role.
Oh, and aggressive's the key word there.
But when you guard somebody, when you face guard somebody properly, you can't worry about the other fans getting upset with you. You can't worry about people yelling at you because you're going to make them angry if you do it correctly. And you can't care about that. I mean, you're just trying to win.
That's why I think that she's the best person on that team for that role because she, honest God, doesn't care. That's all she wants to do is win. And, you know, another big reason why you guys are winning is the SVC Player of the Year, Millie Vanilli. Got to ask first off, how did you get that nickname?
I have no idea, honestly.
Do you even know who Millie Vanilli is?
No.
Uh-oh, you about to drop some knowledge?
It's a band, two guys back in the early 90s, maybe late 80s. I think it was early 90s. They were really, really popular. They had some big hits.
Got in a little bit of trouble there.
And then they found that they were doing a concert one night, and the vocals just stopped, and they're still up there hopping around singing. They found out that Millie Vanilli was not actually singing the songs. It was other people.
Oh, wow.
But they were these two good-looking dudes.
Yeah.
And it was all fake. Yeah.
Now, that makes sense.
I'm pretty sure we gave her that nickname.
Well, it makes sense because it takes two people to guard her. So, you know. Now, I want to ask you, you know, there's been a lot of times this year where it looks like you're kind of working with that you're kind of playing the game within the game, you know. You're getting your baskets, but you're also involving your teammates and stuff like that. But then you kind of just see it. You just go into an absolutely different mode where you can just take over a game. Is that something that, you know, you're just born into, or is it just something where you're like, okay, I know it's time for me to take over now, or how does that kind of work?
I kind of just know when it's time to. And I know, like, when I drive and, like, I always, like, if defense shifts over, I always have somebody to kick out to and, like, shoot the three.
Now, that is very true. You have a lot of – it kind of remind me of, like, the Krzyzewski, like, 2010 years where they just had spot-up shooters, like, all the time. Like, it's insane how well that you guys shoot the three. Now, I want to ask both of you this question. You know, your coach really turned up the pressure this year with your guys' scheduling. How did you guys handle that this year? You know, obviously you didn't go undefeated, but you had some big wins, and honestly, you had the number one team in Division I on the ropes. So how did you guys kind of handle that schedule, you know, mentally, physically, and help you get ready for the tournament?
Well, the scheduling started actually this summer during summer leagues. We went up to Cedar Point and we played some really great competition there. So after seeing that, we kind of knew where we stood. So Jeff picked up some greater teams for us to play so that we would get more prepared for when tournament time came, because we've already been put in these like stressful positions. We already know what it's like to be on the big court. So it's just one of those things of preparing us, and I think we handled it very well this season.
I would definitely agree with that. I mean,
it's a very easily agreeable statement.
Yeah, definitely handled it very well.
But that's when believing in each other, believing in your coach comes into play. Like some of the teams you played on, for me, our regular season record was maybe 14-8 or 14-7, but we had played a really tough schedule, and we knew when we got to the tournaments that was going to help us.
Oh, it did too.
And I think Coach Miller did the perfect thing, because let's be honest, in the SVC,
not unmatched.
Unioto is going to be hard to beat. So and if you just roll, you don't gain a lot by beating the hell out of everybody for 22 games. You got to play teams better than you to reach that level.
Yeah.
And that's what he's done. I think it's helped them a lot.
I think
one could say that they were unbeatable in the SVC this year.
Yes.
Seeing how they got gold ball.
I feel like the reason they're unbeatable is they didn't do what a lot of other teams do when you know you can beat a team, so they would just get the ball out, fast break, and beat them to death. I like how there's a lot of times they would slow it down, get in the half court, and run their sets, because they're like, hey, we know we can't just get it out fast break all the time.
Exactly.
And I want to go back. What Coach Shu said is relationships and a bond. Man, I feel like I've never seen a team that's as close as you girls are. Can you guys kind of speak on that? Like, where does that really come from? Is it, how much you guys are just around each other, or is it you guys really are just best friends? Like, can you speak on your guys' bond for us a little bit?
Honestly, we all just are like best friends, just whenever coming in freshman year, it's just we all instantly clicked with each other. We all knew each other. We were all comfortable around each other, and I think that's one of the most important things. Is like you want to be comfortable around your teammates. You want to have those relationships, and we had those right off the bat.
Yeah, you did. And again, you can see it on the court. That's why you're winning so much. That's why I feel like it seems easy now. Miley, I want to ask you this one. Does it feel like with you, because Maggie, I feel like you're a great passer all the time, and Miley, I'm not saying you're not, but I feel like with you, Miley, you almost know where people are at without even looking. Do you kind of feel like that's more of the bond that you guys have, or is it just an aspect of your game, or both?
I feel like it's kind of both.
Okay. Is there some people that you watch while you're growing up that maybe like you idolize like that? Because for me growing up, my big idols were like Steve Nash, White Chocolate, Jason Williams, and I feel like that made me the player that I kind of was passing-wise, because, perfect guy for me to say this here right now. I could pass amazingly, couldn't shoot worth a crap. So, that's where I kind of got it from, is watching those guys all the time. Is there some idols that you had that were good at passing, or who are some other idols that you looked up to?
Honestly, I don't really know, to be honest. Maybe. I don't really know.
I love how she's just like, man, I don't know. All I can tell you is I go out there and I whoop ass. Okay, like no one's gonna be able to guard me. I'm gonna drop 20 on your head, 30 on your head, and it's awesome to see because of how nonchalant you make it look. Now you play AAU ball, is that correct? You both play AAU ball?
Yeah.
What's your AAU teams?
Mine's a United family.
Okay.
That would be.
Okay, so I want to ask you guys, because there's a lot of talk around AAU right now. Some people say it can form bad habits and stuff like that. Now, there's the side that, you get to play all year round. What's your guys' feel on AAU? Do you feel like, you're getting better as you're doing that? And if so, what do you think it's kind of helping you in your game?
I can go for honestly, it's just to keep a ball in your hands, honestly. So it's like we won't be in season anymore, but it's not going to be like it's not going to be like a very long gap before we're not playing again. So with AAU, it's kind of just keeping playing game, keeping a ball in your hands. With AAU, it's kind of more aggressive too, because like the refs kind of
Oh, they don't call anything.
And also,
it is football on the basketball court.
Yeah. like she's and but yeah, it's just good to keep a ball in your hands, honestly.
Yeah,
make sure you don't have any court rust coming back to the
exactly.
season. Exactly. Smart.
The longer that you don't play, the more rust that builds up. Now, I'm done hammering you with basketball questions. Got some fun questions for you. You said you went to Cedar Point. How was that experience, and what was your favorite rides?
I really enjoyed it. My favorite ride was probably the Millennium Force.
Okay, I've heard good things about that one.
And well, the line was really long for that one. That was the only thing.
That's the worst thing, man. I feel like it's hard to go to like Kings Island, Cedar Point, and not get the fast pass anymore, just because I'm too impatient.
Miley wasn't able to go to Cedar Point.
I was there though.
But like she played, but she wasn't able to go to Cedar Point.
I'll come back from the beach.
Yeah. Okay, now, so you guys went to the beach too? It sounds like you guys had a loaded summer. Oh, okay. I was about to say, damn. Now, what is something that you guys do? Like, obviously, you're grinding all the time, trying to get better at basketball, everything like that. What are you doing outside of that? Like, what's some hobbies that you're doing that's not basketball related?
I feel like they're making fun of us right now.
They might be. I mean, look
at
the
they're
hat.
making fun of us.
Look at the hat. You like the hat? Is the hat throwing you off?
They're whispering amongst themselves. I don't know what they're saying.
Miley's been go bird hunting.
You got bird hunting?
Bird hunting so bad recently, so that's something that Miley's into.
Sniper on the court, sniper off the court. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I'm so good at shooting on this basketball court. Might as well go out and try it on the range. That I feel like they're not.
Here's me and Miley out on the golf course.
Oh, so you're a bunch of golfers too. All right.
Yeah, well, I mean, outside, so.
I like golf, man. It's always a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time. I don't know if
I'm not good at it.
Yeah, don't score.
If you're playing competitively, do not invite me. I will suck terribly. Well, girls, before we get you out of here, what's been the vibe? I know since your last win, you know Fairland is coming up on Wednesday. What's the vibe been at practice? What's your feelings like going into the game?
I think we just got to stay focused and just got to come out with energy at the beginning of the game so it keeps carrying on.
We just got to lock in these next few days, really know what we're trying to do here. So it's just one of those things where we got to stay focused and stay on our path.
Now, I want to ask, because if it was me and I'm playing the team that put me out the year before and the tournament I'm playing now, I would be so happy to get that revenge. Is that kind of what the feeling's like, or is it just another game to you guys?
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe that we're getting right now, so we just have to take advantage of that. And,
heck yeah. I think it's always good to be the team trying to do the revenge other than the team that won the previous time.
Well, now, let me ask you guys this. You've lost 2 starters. Has that taken off a little pressure? You know what I mean? Like, the expectations have been lowered a little bit because you lost 2 players. So is the pressure lessened, or is it the same? I know you still want to win and all that, but.
Well, it's kind of like we've lost 2 starters, so we're kind of still adjusting to that. But honestly, the adjustments that we made have been working pretty well, and it's just one of those things that if we want it, we can get it. So the pressure is it's still there, really, but it allows some of us to step up and be more comfortable with knowing that, okay, like, we know what we need to do. So
that's a great answer. Great answer.
Yeah, and it's easy because they have a bunch of dogs on that team. So it's a real plug-and-play situation there, and it's awesome. We're rooting for you guys. We can't wait to see you guys bring home the ship on Wednesday. Now, we got to ask you before you get out of here, say you're going to win the game Wednesday, you get done, what's the first place you're going to eat? Or what would be your dream victory meal afterwards?
Probably Chipotle.
Nice! I'm on board with that.
I heard you like sushi, though, Maggie. No sushi?
Oh, yeah, sushi nice from Hibachi Express.
You lost me with
the sushi. That's nice there. You got crab rangoons as well.
So you lost me with the Chipotle. I'm on board with a little bit of the sushi.
All right, now, Miley, what about you?
Pizza rolls.
Did she say I love pizza rolls, man. They're so close. All righty, guys. Well, congratulations on all the SVC Awards title. Sectional title. We're waiting for you to be back-to-back district champs this Wednesday night. Check him out against Fairland. Maggie and Miley.
We'll be there. I'll be there.
Woo. Man. Great answers. There's honestly some good guesses. Now, they couldn't stop giggling. I think it had to do with the hat. I told Adam, I was like, we're just going to put him on. No warning, no explanations. Just
I
go.
think the hat was very distracting.
Yeah. Mine couldn't fit really well, so I just
feel like it makes me
doesn't
look good.
fit either. He doesn't care.
Yeah. No, that's one
I mean,
thing.
it sits, though. It sits nice.
At least I was going to say,
it
it can at least get up there. Now, Coach, I want to ask you because it would be one thing if they're having a rematch with Fairland in the same round, but now they're doing it in a district, like an actual championship is on the line, where last time it was to go to another championship. How do you think, one, as a coach, how would you kind of handle the week going into it, playing that team?
Well, number one, it doesn't matter if it's a district or a regional semifinal or a district championship. Every game now is win or go home, so that doesn't really matter. But, we got beat by Oak Hill on a last-second 27-foot shot.
Insane long shot. It was like NBA range.
Yeah. And then we went back and played them the next year. But, it was a different – we both had different teams. We lost some guys. They lost some guys. They recruited a couple guys.
Yeah.
But
the look there. Recruited a couple.
They recruited a guy just because we had Dylan Swingle. They recruited another big kid from I think it was New Boston or something.
Get him homegrown, like we did.
Yeah, but the preparation is the same no matter where. I mean, if you're preparing differently for a district championship than you were in the 10th game of the season, you're not doing your job properly.
That makes sense.
You're getting ready for every game the same way.
See, because me as a player, like, I don't want to say I would go harder because I feel like you know me. Like, I went hard at practice, anything. But, like, I would, like, I don't know. I would definitely go – that's the only way I can say is I'd be going harder because, like, it would definitely have more juice to it.
It would bring more out of you.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I would be able to do things that maybe I'm not saying I'm going out there and dropping 25. You know what I mean? But, like, I feel like, I might – like, normally I'd stay 5 extra minutes. Now I'm going to stay 10. Like, I'm just doing more than I already did just because – man, there's not a lot of times, especially in high school, where because what you said, when you guys played Oak Hill the next year, it was like 2 completely different teams.
Yeah.
With this, these are pretty identical teams to the teams that played last year. So it is like almost a true rematch. And, I know everybody's kind of looking at, like kind of like you said, lose 2 starters. So obviously the expectations are a little bit lower. If I'm Unioto, like kind of like what you were asking, I love every single bit of that because
if I was coaching Fairland, that would scare me to death that Unioto lost a couple starters because their team might be thinking, well, they're not as good,
Yeah.
And that's when because Unioto could beat anybody even with 2 starters out.
And
like Maggie said, these other people have stepped up and filled those roles.
Perfectly.
Good player, and Maggie amongst. The chief amongst them.
I think her still being in is the biggest deal because they lost 2 starters, but they didn't lose the person that can go completely lock down the other team's best player.
Maggie's, and I'm prejudiced because I love Maggie, but in my opinion, she's the glue. She does everything.
She's the like you said.
Here's the thing with Maggie. She's going to guard their best player.
Mm-hmm.
She's a great passer. If you need, hopefully it doesn't happen, but if Miley got in foul trouble, Maggie can score.
Yeah.
She can
She can easily put
she's
20,
a
30 of it.
She could get 25 points if she had to. Trust me. I mean, she could do it.
And that's if I'm Fairland, I'm scared, But obviously, they got there for a reason. They're
good,
slums,
man.
But
the team that Marietta that Unioto beat 51-39 or something. Fairland beat them 76-32 like 3 weeks ago. Fairland's good.
Yeah, and they're notoriously good. Like they're pretty good almost every year.
And Portsmouth, who's really good, beat Fairland for their only loss by 4 points. They beat them. Then Fairland beat them by 20 the next matchup. Fairland's good.
That's insane.
And they're big.
It's kind of like that Huntington Unioto eighth grade games.
And they're big and can shoot. I mean, they're good.
That's the problem when you're big and you can shoot, because then you can beat them inside and out.
Yeah.
Now, before we keep going, want to get to some news again. Got to plug it every single show. The Ride the Wave benefit concert, March 9th, is coming up, and man,
talk of the town.
It's going to be a blast. Again, all proceeds are going for Addison Edgington of Circleville. She is starting to be A-OK. I don't want to say A-OK, but she's starting to get a lot better. We're going to have Moose Miller headlining with Stateside Red, Lori Pritchard, the Basement Collective, amazing band, amazing. Garage Fire and Peach Jam in there.
You know how people talk about, this is my prediction, you know how people talk about, hey, I was at that Taylor Swift concert at OUC back in 07. People are going to say that about Moose Miller in 5 years.
Yeah.
When this dude
he's low. Have you listened to his new single?
Yes.
Oh, my God, it's amazing.
I was at the Majestic. This guy's good.
He's insane.
He really is good.
If you're like, man, I'm weird and I don't like music, well, cool, because we got comedy for you, too. Lori Graves is emceeing. I was like, Lori, I don't want you to just do one stand-up. I need people to hear you all day laughing. So we got her. We got coming-of-age comedian Mackenzie Rudinger.
I have not heard her yet. I can't wait to see her.
I've read her tweets. That's all I need to know how hilarious she is.
She's hilarious on Twitter.
Yes, and we have a third one. I'll get that in hour 2 whenever I can find it. Lori texted it to me. I know it's a Sam something, so I'll get that out there the second time. Great promoter right here. But again, it's March 9th.
You're making them wait. It's a little bit of suspense, baby.
Now, it's going to be March 9th from noon to 9. So you have all day to be there. All the proceeds, again, going to Addison Edgington. It's going to be at Creekside Occasions. And we also have some great food. We're going to have Christopher Cologne there. We're going to have the Anchor Ship Bistro out there. I've heard they're very, very, very good. We're going to have some cornhole set up. Been thinking about trying to do a cornhole tournament, so stay posted on that. I know people love that cornhole tournament. And we're going to have a silent auction with, thanks to Coach Shu here, some signed memorabilia from Dick Vitale.
My guy.
Signed basketball, signed books, signed picture. We're going to have 4 free oil changes up. We're going to have a lot of good things. So make sure you're out there, Shu. We know you're going to be out there, right?
I'll be there. That's a great story in itself, was how Vitale
I want to hear it right now.
Became friends.
Say it right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's kind of the lead in. That was kind of the.
So, I have my website.
Yeah.
And it gets, one day I had 300,000 hits on it. It's usually 30,000 or so a day from all over. So anyway, I get a call, or I get a message one day from some lady saying, hey, Dick Vitale would like to call you. So I never answered, but I saw her name. She contacted me on LinkedIn. So I look up her name on LinkedIn, and she's his agent, Dick Vitale's agent. And I'm thinking, why the hell would Dick Vitale want to talk to me? I'd never met the guy. And I thought maybe he's doing something on Hugs or Gary Williams, and he wants my input or something. And I thought to myself, I had written a couple things on a website criticizing Dick Vitale because he was always a dookie.
Yeah.
And I wrote some funny stuff.
For people that don't know what that means, it means he liked Duke.
But that was back in 2014, 2015. And this was 2020 when she was like, it surely can't be that. So I messaged her back and I said, here's my number, And next thing I know, I'm driving to Chillicothe and my phone rings, and up on my screen it says Richard Vitale's Tampa, Florida, or somewhere in Florida. It's Dick Vitale calling me. And I said hello, and it was clearly him, his voice.
Yeah.
Hey, blah, blah, blah. And I told him that, or one of the things I wrote.
Could you imagine if he answered the phone like that? Like, everybody's, hey, baby.
So
I'm sorry.
One of the things I'd written about, I went to a UC game when Hugs was down there, and my son Kip was little, and I'd taken, it was down behind the locker rooms where nobody was, but I had access to it because of my relationship with Hugs, and he was with Brent Musburger, and I took Kip up there, and Kip had a little pad or something. I can't remember the details. But Musburger stopped and spoke to Kip and was completely friendly, and Vitale just walked off. and I was ripping him in that block. Anyway, he had called me. He called me to apologize for his actions that day with my son. And I was like just taken back. I said,
what?
I said, it was a long time ago. It was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Anyway, after me criticizing Dick Vitale for years, after 2 minutes,
completely won you over.
Like he was delightful. Like he was the greatest guy. And he said, my wife told me, why would you call some guy in Ohio that wrote something 8 years ago, whatever? And he told her, he said, I just want to make it right. I want to make it right with her. So, long story short, he's lost his voice now. Yeah. He's had cancer in his throat and all that, and he's undergoing all kind of treatments. But he said, I'm going to come back. I'm going to start doing games. It's going to happen sooner or later. And if you're anywhere in the Midwest, I'll get you 4 tickets, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, when I messaged him about your benefit, and I gave you the contact, boom.
Yeah. Have you heard of the story of how we got the box of stuff?
No.
So Adam is just going to the gym one day. We're all I think it was like a Saturday maybe.
It was either a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, because we were all off.
No, it couldn't have been Sunday. It had to be a Saturday.
Yeah, because Savannah was there. And so Adam just, opens the door. He goes, oh, we got a box. Oh, my God, we got a box. I was like, what? He goes, it's from Dick Vitale.
I mean, I gave you the contact information, and you got it, with just in a few days,
yeah,
I
thought it was going to be at least a week or two, maybe 3 or 4 days.
Did you just message them? And
I just sent them an email to the one that you sent, and they sent it back to me. I was like, I'm never deleting this email. I would never lose the password.
For a basketball fan, that stuff insane. Would be, man, for your man cave.
My uncle messaged me from Missouri, said, I am betting on the Dick Vitale ball. So it's going to be a big deal, man. And again, all the proceeds are going to Addison for her road to recovery. Been following along on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook with her mom, Megan. She's finally been able to walk. She actually went to the girls' game last week for Circleville, which leads us to the tournament that we wanted to talk about. Dina lost to Fed Hawking, and we were talking with a couple of people. They were kind of surprised by that Dina lost to Federal Hawking, but they made it close. So their season ends. So Emma Garrison, congratulations on one hell of a career, and those senior girls, man. They won 4 sectional titles. Emma Garrison won Player of the Year once. That was a good run for those Adina girls. After, because when I was in high school, Adina girls were not very good. And I feel like Coach Day has really turned that program around.
Andrew does a great job. I mean, he fundamentally, they're always really good. Now,
very good.
Like with Unioto, sometimes they're just outmanned against them.
Yeah.
But, no, he does an amazing job.
Yeah, and so what to give credit to them. I like that, they got to play in the Waverly gym. I love that downtown Waverly gym. It is beautiful, historic. It is.
We've had so many big wins down there over the years. I love that place.
And then Circleville did beat Athens 50-35. Pretty sure that was a district semi for that one. So they will be playing in their district championship. I can't remember who they're playing next, but obviously going to have to pick Circleville in that one. Undefeated, play for people more than themselves.
I think Circleville plays the game following the Unioto game, right?
At Southeastern?
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah.
That place will be packed.
I will have to look on the break who they play because
it's not Sheridan, is it?
Yeah, I think it is Sheridan.
It's in your notes.
Yeah, because they play.
You actually did.
Man, it's weird. It's almost like I prepared.
Notes. I was like,
almost like I
prepared.
I'm
pretty sure.
Yeah, because look right here, Sheridan blew out Jackson in Fairfield Union. So this should be a good heavyweight fight. And Sheridan is the team lost to Unioto last year off that amazing
buzzer
comeback.
Beater,
yeah, thanks to Millie Vanilli getting that big steal and buzzer beater win. So Sheridan kind of looking to get some revenge as well. Obviously not against the same team, but they were right here last year, had the game won, up 16 in the fourth quarter. And Unioto, one of the greatest comebacks I've seen in high school basketball. I'm also only 27, so you can't really hold me too much. But it was an amazing game. I think I got to go Circleville, though, man. I mean,
that's who I got. That's
to pick against the team that's playing for more than just themselves, man. Like, And it's not even just that undefeated. They're super good. The coach is a great coach. Had him on the show. I mean,
amazing guest.
Yeah,
sure.
I think
like you said, Clay. It's just when you got something to play for like that, you're just gonna. It's hard to pick against a team like that.
I mean, because it's like we said earlier, where like this player might not really ever hit threes, but where they're like playing for Addison. They can start just hitting threes out of their mind. Like
Benton County's my junior year, we were notoriously awful at football until we got Coach Carp. Shout out Coach Carp.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, so we had somebody that passed away my junior year. We ended up going 5-5 because we dedicated that season for her, and it was like, well, I mean,
yeah, but 5-5 during your high school career.
No, that was like it was big time. We were 500.
They were going like 1-9, 0-10.
That was the most. That was like we hadn't got. It took 5 years previous to get 5 wins. You know what I mean?
So you reached mediocrity.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got there.
For her.
Yeah.
It was for her, man. Like in the name of her.
No 1-9 season. No 1-9
No,
season.
we're not going 1-9 for you. True honor. We're going 500. Oh, man. I got to shut up. Now,
tough. They did have a tough schedule. They were playing people they shouldn't have been playing.
Dude, it's like the Joe Coffey schedule this year.
We always played people like Jackson. It's like there's no reason.
I don't know if I've
like
said
Jackson.
this on the show yet, but I did get some information. Joe Coffey did make that schedule when they had D1 recruit Tavion Galloway on the team.
Yeah.
And then he left, and they couldn't just change the schedule. So, makes more sense. So, if we haven't said it before, we're saying it now. Sorry. But no, Unioto getting there on the revenge game. Shoot, I know you've been kind of following a lot this year. We're friends with Maggie's dad, Joe. What do you think?
Yeah, he's all right.
He's an okay guy. What do you think Unioto has to do to win this game Wednesday? That was so. I was like,
I don't think, this is just my opinion, and normally when you're playing a team better than you, I would want to reduce possessions and slow it down and try to get them in a half-court game. But I think Unioto is better just going all out and just running, you know, and if they're hitting and they're playing good defense, I think they got a chance to beat them. But I would just push the ball and just go.
Now, do you think that because you feel – because I think we're on the same page here. I feel like they match up defending them really well.
Yeah.
I don't know if their offense matches up, like you said, running a half-court offense and scoring really well. That's where if you get it out in fast break, you're more on the defensive side. But like you said, do you want to give Fairland that many possessions because they're also a really good team?
Well, that's the risk you're taking.
Yeah.
You get in a high scoring game, you might get beat 80-60.
Yeah.
But they're so big. If you slow it down, Fairland can beat it inside and beat you. And I think the fact that Miley is so good in the open court, if they just get it going back and forth, she could end up with 38 points, so you knock them off.
Do you press or do you play half court?
My opinion.
If you're Unioto.
I haven't seen Fairland live. I've just read all their stats and everything, so I don't know how good they're.
Because I feel like now again, I am a nobody before I say this, but when we went to the Xavier Creighton game, Sean Miller turned on the press like, I want to say with 3 minutes to go, and it worked amazing, but like you kind of felt like he should have turned it on with like maybe 5 to 7 minutes to go.
How different is it from watching a big-time college game on TV and being in the front row?
Yeah, we did not belong. I don't know if you did that. Now, if you haven't seen the video we made,
Dante Jackson made us feel like
yes.
somebody.
We're going to say again, thank you, Dante.
Well,
thank you, Dante.
The thing is, when they take you down to your seats, there's like 800 people around you looking to see who you are, right?
We're walking
because they know you're somebody special if you got those tickets.
We're walking down, and I was like, guys, I got the tickets on my phone. And I was like, and I truly was like, just let me go first. I know they're going to ask for tickets for these kind of seats. And I knew these were good seats when I got on the ticket app, and you couldn't find them. Like, you couldn't find the section to buy them.
Yeah, it wasn't like row 1. It was like double A or something
so
weird
it was
number.
it was BB.
Yeah.
It was section BB, and I was like, okay.
So that could be up in the second level, you know?
So we start walking down, and I'm like, guys, and I turn around, and I had this shitty
They keep
grin.
taking you keep
I'm just
going.
like this, and I was like, guys, we ran out of rows, and we aren't to our seats yet.
All we saw was B, so we we tried to cut across.
Yeah.
These people were giving us
So
stuff.
as we're cutting across, the national anthem starts playing. So we got to stop in between like these two dressed nice individuals, and they were like, "You guys are not in the right place." Like they looked at us like, "No way, you're in the right place."
But you were. What they do is you have a regular seating chart for the arena, and then when they have special people that they want right down there, they just make up
Yeah. Well, we found out didn't make up enough seats because we got down there and showed guys tickets, and he goes, "You're not." Oh, you're right here, and we're not talking crap. Like we did not belong. The way we dressed.
As soon as you show the people that's taking you to the seat,
yeah,
you're suddenly treated better
because
this guy must be somebody.
Sure, we had a server.
that was the best part about it was the people that were giving us guff during the national anthem. Like they sat behind us.
Yeah.
So like when we left, we had to like pass them, and they were kind of like I'm pretty sure they said something to Tony, and Tony was just kind of like, "Oh yeah, is that why we were in front of you?"
And then, so we get down there, and Andy, is that picture of the recruit still in the group chat? I'm gonna look it up. But we get down there, and I go up to this guy. I mean, he just looked like a normal kid, and I'm like, "Hey, how's it go?" Or I wasn't gonna say how's it go or something like that, but I was like, "Nah," like I'm waiting for the guy to like put us where our seats are and everything. And I hear a lady go, "What high school are you from?" He goes, "I'm from Australia." And I turned and I hit him like on the shoulder, like, "You're from Australia?" just like I knew this guy forever. Turns out to be a top recruit for Xavier. So he's there for the game. So I instantly was just like telling him like how great the arena and stuff like that.
Might be in the NBA one day.
Yeah, and so talked with him.
He's like, "I've been to every state.
Yeah, I was telling him, I was like,
I've
"I've been to USC, I've been to Colorado, I've been to all these places, I've been to North Carolina. Best atmosphere right here. This is the school you want to go to."
I heard you like became the recruiter for Dante.
Pretty much.
For the guy.
Yeah, I was pretty much selling this guy Xavier. So then after that, I liked it because we were courtside, but like it was like the actual courtside seats were here, and we were directly behind them.
Yeah.
And that was way better because my anxiety, I would just be afraid I'd fuck up the game. Like I'd touch somebody, I'd spill something. So where we were at, I had enough room to jump up, be an idiot, cheer, like.
Still, we're technically on the court.
Yeah, like when they dunked, my foot was on the court. Yeah. So
that Centos Center though is perfect for Xavier.
It is amazing.
It's built like a 20,000 seat arena, but it's 11,000 or whatever. Yeah. Everything, but it's still a round arena, and
I was kind of describing it as like it's most stadiums. It's built towards like the court, right? Mm-hmm. This one felt like the court wasn't the center of it. You know, it was kind of in front.
Yeah,
you know, almost like like it would be a stage almost.
And
because of how the student section
another great thing about it is a lot of like Schottenstein Center, the seats go like this
up.
Xavier, they're like everyone's looking right down on you. Like even if you're up high, you're close to the
because it's like the bottom section's here, and then the top section starts like way over top of the bottom section, but it's high enough up that you can, if you're like in the back of the bottom section, you can still see really good.
And those fans are nuts,
dude. It was insane. Like that student section so at first I thought we were gonna be sitting right next to the student section, and I was like, cool, but we actually sat like on the if they're on this side of the court, we were over here. And it was actually way better because we got to see, what they were doing and stuff. Yeah. It was electric, man. Xavier came out, first play, dunked it. It was insane. Didn't get the win, but, man, it was insane. To like you said, being that close, those dudes are huge. And they're big and, cut. Like
when you're down on the floor, what you notice, if you haven't done it before, is the first shot goes up, and 6 guys jump above the rim.
Yeah.
To get to rebound.
Yeah.
It was not like high school where you wait for it to come down. Everybody just
it was
flies.
It's like, why aren't they boxing out? Because they're jumping higher than everyone. But yeah, man, it was a great time down there, and want to get Dante on again here soon. They got the Big East tournament coming up. Definitely need to get him to call in and talk about that.
Well, since we're talking about college basketball. No, you were talking about a topic a little bit earlier you wanted to start the show off with.
I'm going to go to you first because I think we have 2 completely different opinions.
Okay.
What do you feel about the court storm situation? Would you like me to give you my opinion first, or do you
Go ahead.
Okay. So my thing is, and I put this in my notes. I'm going to read it from the notes. Quit being a little fucking bitch, because
Video.
Yeah.
In parentheses.
Yeah, there's a video there. I didn't have time to get the video. But, okay, so court stormings to me have been a thing forever. It was never really that big of a deal. And the two instances that they're using, one is Caitlin Clark, which you can
She flopped.
she went into the person. She went out of her
she
way
drew
to hit
contact.
the person. Yeah.
She went flying around.
And then this kid, you can see, goes to hit the Wake Forest kid, and it completely backfired. So, and then his coach goes up there and says, when are we going to ban this? And I just want to say, we ain't going to quit being a little bitch, because you're during his playing career, people from Duke stormed the court more than once. I think, Andy, you got to hear Andy. So it's like what they would say. It's a part of college basketball. So my thing is, Coach, if you want to change it for games over, set the shot clock for 10 seconds, let the players get to the part where they can shake hands, and then storm the court. Because I don't think you get rid of it. There's a reason why people they say the same thing with the field. I think the field isn't that big of a deal just because they have to climb down a wall to get there. If you don't have enough time to get off the field while people are climbing down, as you see here, they storm the court, and you can see that he kind of goes to hit him, and it just goes bad, and they get around him. I think he's honestly, and I hate to say this, I just don't like Duke, but I think he's faking this because he's walking perfectly fine.
I think he came out and he has a sprained ankle.
They say he has a sprained ankle, but he's walking perfectly fine. He's practicing A-OK now, so
it could be fake. Personally, I'm with you. I think that the court storming should stay a thing, but
it's what makes college sports great.
I don't think he so much went into it. I think I feel like players should just be coached to get off. Hey. As soon as this buzzer hits, get off the court.
It's happening, dude. Yeah. You're ranked 9. They're unranked. You just lost to them at home. But, Coach, want to get to you.
I got two takes on that. Number one, I would tell our guys, the game, it was a couple years after you graduated, where we were ahead of Unioto by 12 points, and they'd won 62 games in a row or something. I told our guys, don't act like idiots if we win this thing. Just be cool. And you should get that message to your fans. It's not always necessary to storm the court. Don't act like you did something great unless it's a big win.
Well, there was a court storm that happened. It was like a ranked team versus an unranked team, and it was
But I mean, if you're 15-10 and beat the 21st ranked team in the country, you don't need to storm the court.
They stormed the court at Dillon's senior sectional game, but that's because you guys came back from a huge deficit to win the game.
Well, a sectional title.
It is a sectional title. Like what you're saying, that is a good instance to storm the court.
But secondly, it's not like these colleges aren't making money.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making gazillions of dollars.
Yeah.
Hire extra security. When who beat UConn last week?
Creighton.
Yep.
Creighton. Watch the video of that. They had a bunch of security around the both benches.
Yeah.
And everybody stormed the court, but they didn't get through that security because they were shoulder to shoulder. And once the people were off, security just left, and everybody
because they're not there to damage the court. It's their home court. It's what you do.
I mean, it's not expensive to hire a guy for security,
and you don't need to do it every game. No. Just do it for that game.
Something else I was wanting to get your guys' opinion on. Do you think that right there, Creighton has to pay a fine to UConn because they're students.
They pay it to the other school.
Yeah, they pay it to the other school. I didn't know that. So
okay.
Me personally, I don't think that should, because as a college, there was a game we were watching. You clearly heard an announcement saying, do not storm the court. And they still storm the court. It's well, I don't think that college should be penalized. They're trying their best to make sure their students don't do that. But they can't control a bunch of 18 to 22-year-olds all hopped up on whatever you're drinking there.
Yeah, I hate that. I don't think it should happen. But to me,
I will say this. Had Xavier won against Creighton,
we would be on that court.
We were starting to storm.
Dante and Sean Miller. If that court was storming, we were part of that storm.
I don't care if we were the only 4 people.
Me and Adam talked about it in warm-ups, okay?
Who did you see Xavier play?
Creighton.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was big. And when people say, oh, what do you mean Wake Forest, they were good. that was a big win for Wake Forest because that solidified that they really have a shot now to make the tournament because that's another big key win for them.
I saw
in the fashion that they did it down to the last second.
I saw like they were a ranked team, and they came back and beat an unranked team.
And
I was like,
don't
why?
do that.
That makes you guys look so bad.
But on top of all that, you got Duke, who anytime anything like that happens, they're outraged because we're Duke.
Yeah.
You know, how dare you touch one of our players?
This is the new head coach, the guy, I don't remember his name, don't like him as much as I didn't like the last guy. So, but what I wanted to say about you with the fine, I hate it.
Yeah,
don't think it should be a thing. But if they were like, well, it's either like do this or get rid of the court storming, A-okay with it. Because it's kind of funny. I was watching Jay Billis on TV, and I agreed with him about one thing, which we'll talk about in a second. But I did agree with him on this. But he made a lot of good points that made me realize something is like, one, the media encourages it.
Yeah.
They want them to storm the court, something for them to put on their show, so like, why stop it? And two, big games like that, like the amount of money that it helps bring in the school with the fine is essentially to us if they're like, hey, you have a fine of $5.
Yeah.
You got to pay that. So to me, I hate it. Because, like you said, they're obviously trying to not do that. But at the same time, if that's the price we have to pay, or literally, for there to still be court storming.
Billis was calling for these kids to be thrown in jail.
Yeah.
I mean,
he said once they get on the court,
and I
keep them there. Detain them.
I like Jay, but he overreacted to that.
Because now I want to get on something that he said that I thought was awesome. Same day. Where they start talking about expanding the NCAA tournaments, like 90-some schools. And he said, don't ever underestimate the NCAA for doing something profoundly stupid.
Yeah.
And I was on board with that because I think the NCAA, I know they say, well, they wanted to put it to 32 and people didn't like it. And then they wanted to do 64, 68, people didn't like it. Look where it's at now. It's like, yeah, but at some point you do get to the perfect school. And he said it on the point, it's a national championship tournament. You should have to do something hard to get there. Yeah. And everyone has an equal shot to get in. You win your conference championship, you're in the dance. What are your thoughts? Do you like it, or do you think it should expand?
I think I want everybody. You talking about football or basketball?
No, for basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I always get upset or get pissed off when people talk about UCLA won like 11 national championships in the 60s and mid 70s, and people go, well, there were only 32 teams in a tournament. There were only 16 teams in a 60, blah, blah. And my response always is, why wasn't anybody else winning then?
Yeah.
Why is it just UCLA?
Yeah.
If it was so easy.
Yeah. And,
right.
And when you get to, if there's only 32, that makes it way harder.
Yeah.
Like, because your first two rounds are
well, because you're playing a really good team from the
first draw.
Yeah, it's more condensed
competition. Like how people are getting upset in the first round because they aren't ready to play tournament basketball and the other team is, and they're the other draw. Well, cool. Now you're playing a team that's ready and super freaking good. So for you to do, and again, the team to beat them before that run and after that run, go Irish.
Not to change subject a little bit, but I do not understand these people that aren't for the 12-team playoff.
See, because
I love it.
That's where the expansion is good. They fixed the problem.
And they're talking about 14 maybe getting in. That's fine.
And if that was already a thing, I think that there wouldn't be only two conferences now in college football.
Yeah, if it was already a thing.
That's right.
Before that, yeah,
you're right.
And this might be surprising for you guys as a Notre Dame fan, but where they said we're taking the top 5 conference champions and then doing the rest of the seeds like that, which would mean that Notre Dame could never be a top 5 seed. I like that. That's how it should be. Notre Dame's not in the conference. You can't be a conference champion.
So they're taking the top, the conference champions, and then the highest rated.
Yeah,
highest rated teams after that, right?
Yeah, so like basically saying Notre Dame went undefeated, right? The best seed that they could get is the 6th seed.
But Notre Dame has no way of getting a bye.
Exactly, because they aren't in a conference.
I like that.
But that's fair.
As a fan, I would hate that, but I like that you were like, I respect it because we're not in a conference.
We're not in a conference, and you can't.
Are the first round games going to be home games for the higher rated team?
Yeah, so
that's going to be insane if Ohio State has
you're bringing the because one thing is like the bowl games are almost like a Super Bowl. It's nowhere near either of the teams, so you can't get a true fan base there. Even though for college, I feel like the fan bases definitely travel way more than for NFL. But now if you're having it in the home stadium, like think if Cincinnati would have had a home playoff game 2 years ago. Holy shit.
They would have had 2 home playoff games in Ohio, in the state of Ohio, wouldn't they? Or did Ohio State?
No, because Ohio State. Oh well, they won the conference that year. So
I think you'll have more players not opting out now.
Yeah.
If you're playing in the Citrus Bowl or somewhere, and there's no advancement if you win or whatever. A lot of those guys don't want to play to get hurt. I think you'll have more people playing.
Yeah, and that's what
I hate to opt out.
Yeah, me and him said that you should have to,
especially if you're paying if you're paying a player, they should be forced to.
I don't understand how they didn't think of before this NIL of signing a contract.
That's what I was going to bring up. Jay Billis, who we were just talking about. He said that's the answer. Sign them to contracts and say you're required. You want to get the money, you will play in the bowl game.
Yeah.
And I think he also had a 2-year so it was either him or somebody else that said it needs to be a 2-year time period, so that way a coach can be like, well, I don't have to worry about losing these guys right now this year because they can't leave until next year.
Yeah.
So that way it gives a coach.
We said just put a clause in where if your coach leaves. You're allowed to leave, but if you don't leave,
or a coach can release you from that. Like, hey, I'm not going to play this year. I really thought we were going to get you, in there. I can understand if you want to leave a year early.
If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can stay here.
You can stay here and work towards it. But if you want, I can sign this and let you go.
I just don't understand how they did the NIL and they just was like, it's a free for all, no contracts.
Yeah,
I don't understand how that works.
This kid's like, well, I'm getting $1 million from this school, and then this school, and then this school.
Exactly. All righty, folks. Well, we went a little past time, but we're going to give you a small break here from our voices so that we can get ready. But stick around. We're having Wheelersburg head coach Alex Prader coming on to talk about their sectional title this year and his amazing playing career. So stick around. We're going to have a little commercial videos for you to watch, and we'll be right back. And welcome back in here to the Ride the Wave show. We have the always beautiful, handsome Adam B-Dubs in the house. And then we have not possibly, 100% the greatest coach in Pay Valley history, Dave Shoemaker in the house. Dave, yeah, put him in the hall, damn it.
In the hall.
It's way too long. First ballot. Put him in the hall. We'll talk about it here in a little bit.
I'm super bummed you don't have any hallways here because there would be a picture of
I'm shooting all of them
in the hall.
Yeah. But speaking of, Coach, the OHSAA tournament is going on. Adina lost to Northwest. Honestly, off of a crazy run in the fourth quarter, man. Their offense was great the first three quarters.
Miami Trace, you mean?
No, Adina. Their
Trace?
offense in the fourth quarter just went stagnant. They lost to Northwest. Northwest, I think,
You're talking girls.
Boys.
Northwest beat Zane Trace last night.
No, you're thinking of
North Adams.
Yeah,
never mind.
North Adams. Yeah,
Disregard.
Northwest beat Adina. Who's the coach down there for Northwest? I can't. It's the same one that we coached against. I think
Nathan Kopus.
Yeah, he was down there. I'm pretty sure.
No, that's North Adams.
Oh,
Northwest. It's not Scarberry, is it?
I think so because Strawberry was assistant coach. Recognized him.
Yeah.
He's gotten a little bit more muscular. But no, Adina just went stagnant scoring wise that fourth quarter. Then Northwest. That's their first sectional title coach in 11 years. And
really?
Yeah, and you know a thing or two about bringing back the first sectional title after a long time. So, I mean, that coach has to be feeling like he's on cloud nine right now after doing that. And then the cool thing about that was there's some Adina kids there. You know how they have the signs up on the like above like the rims and stuff for that walkway? Mm-hmm. There's kids banging on the signs like when they were like on defense and like for free throws. It was an electric environment, man, because then the next game, New Lexington, who beat Miami Trace off of a buzzer beater, was insane. Their fans saw Adidas fans doing that, so they started doing it for their game. So it was an absolutely electric atmosphere. But yeah, New Lexington won off of a buzzer beater, and then Logan Elm beat Unioto off of pretty much a buzzer beater. And 1.1 seconds left to go, and that was a huge upset, man.
There's a couple bad decisions there at the end for
Unioto, and that's why I say for high school basketball, every team should get in because you have Logan Elm was like a 13 seed, I think, just beat Unioto for a sectional title. So, and then you have a team that just won the SOC 3 conference. And then now won a sectional title led by a man who is only in his second year of coaching and has 2 sectional titles.
2 for 2, baby.
Alex Prader! How's it going, my man?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing good. Now, I want to talk about your sectional title as a coach, everything like that. We will get to that. But one thing I learned from you today that I can't let go of, back-to-back Final Fours at 06-07 as a player?
Yeah, well, I was really lucky to have a lot of good players around me and Hall of Fame coach and Tom Barrick. So I was a very small piece of that. But, yeah, very thankful to have that experience.
Small piece. I have my high school coach right here. He can tell you. I mean, he might not say small piece over here, man. I had 4,000-point scores in my starting lineup, and I understood the job.
Hey, you take a small piece out of a puzzle. It's not a full puzzle no more.
Exactly. So, and I want to ask you, man, because a lot of teams – get to go to a Final Four once in their career, maybe twice, but back-to-back. What kind of ride was that like for you?
Yeah, it was interesting. The first year, we at Willersburg, we expect to play at the Convo every year, and we had played there a couple times, and I remember getting on the bus after winning a regional, and it was like, where do we go next? And one of my teammates said, we're going to the Final Four. We're going to go play at the Shot. So the first year we were kind of young and figuring it out. But the second year, we kind of knew what to expect. And, fortunate to get back. We ended up getting beat in overtime in the state semifinal. North College Hill got beat on a buzzer beater.
Oh, wow.
So that was tough. Yeah, we felt like we let one get away.
Now, that was a special time in Southern Ohio basketball because, I mean, you guys go to the Final Four. You have Vinton County. You have McLean. You have obviously Joe Coffey the year after you guys win the state title. And we've said this a few times on the show. And this, I feel like, even implements it even more is in 2008 when Chillicothe won that state title, that was just like the showcase of how good the whole area was from like the 90s to that point. just some great basketball being played. And like you said, you're under a Hall of Fame coach. I'm under a Hall of Fame coach. Put him in the Hall. Pate Valley. It's been way too long. Sorry, we are very high horse on that over here. But I wanted to talk to you. Have you taken in any of the experience you had as a player, going through all that? I know you're assistant coach as well, but as a player and then applying it now as a head coach for going on the runs that you guys have been going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, just being at we're really blessed to be at Williamsburg. There's such a standard of excellence here. And, people ask me all the time, how is Williamsburg so successful in so many different facets of what we do? And honestly, we have kids and families that work extremely hard. So I think, learning under Coach Barrick, and Coach Barrick was a great mentor to me, still is to this day. And really the value of hard work and being able to focus on what you need to do to be successful in any situation, whether it's basketball, life, business, whatever it is. And so just taking those same values and applying them to our program and trying to teach our kids those same lessons he taught us. And, I think consistency and within that hard work is really what at the core of our success here.
Now, is Coach Barry the one that you replaced after being the assistant for 8 years?
No, Coach Barrick, he left it after the 2012-13 season.
Okay.
Stephen Ader came in 13
Okay, because
14.
I was about to say, even as a player, you had a Hall of Fame coach, State 5-4. I got to talk about your 8 years as assistant because you guys won 7 sectionals, 5 districts, and 3 league titles. And then you come in and pretty much just take the baton and keep it going. So I got to ask, you said that it's about the parents, it's about everything like that, but I feel like with Wheelersburg, you have great talent as the kids, but the coaching that you guys have, I feel like has gone completely underrated.
Well, I think you give credit to our administration. It's to be a good coach and to have success, you've got to have strong administration. And it starts at the top here. Mark Knapp, our superintendent, I get to work with him every day. And he's a phenomenal human being, a phenomenal leader. He certainly sets the tone for our district. And, Coach Ader, before me, was a great friend to me. Gave me an opportunity to coach, and he taught me a lot, and I was fortunate to work for him, and he had a tremendous run here, a lot of success. He went back actually to his alma mater and is coach at Chesapeake, and they had a great season this year as well. So
they just played Ironton, I think.
Yeah. Ironton ended up getting them there in the sectional game, but he had a great year, won the OVC, which nobody expected. So he's doing good things, and we're proud of what we're doing here at Wheelersburg, and just working really hard to continue that standard.
Yeah, and now again, Hall of Fame coach, everyone. Dave Shoemaker has a question for you.
Sure.
Coach, I'm old enough to remember when John Eaton was there. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard stories about John, and his sons, I'm sure. I was coaching at Greenfield McLean back in the 80s. And we'd go be scouting down there or something, and we'd go to John's house, have a couple beers, and his kids would be like Brent and what's the other one that played at Wilmington? Yeah. They'd be playing Nerf basketball in the living room. But I got a lot of stories about those guys. And
John Eaton's a legend around these parts, and he was the superintendent when I was in school, just a great dude. But Brent's our middle school principal now, and get to talk with him a lot. Jonathan's on our board. So the Eatons are still very active around Wheelersburg.
Great people. And when I first started coaching for Rick Van Meter at Greenfield back in the 80s, we'd go to basketball camp at OU, and I'm like second and third year teaching and coaching. And we had 2 rooms side by side. They wouldn't put us in the dorms where the kids were. They put us in a hotel uptown for certain reasons. They didn't want us around the campers. But it was me, Rick Van Meter, John Eaton, Carl Wolf, and a couple other guys from down in southeastern Ohio. And I probably learned more basketball out drinking beers with those guys than I ever did at any clinic. I mean, those guys were amazing.
Now, Coach, I don't mean to interrupt you real quick, but I have to put on the dog hat. I mean, this guy.
Oh, my God.
Absolute dog. We had to put it on the new thing we're doing. Absolute dog status here. Had to put it on, Coach. Sorry. It's just what we do.
You're good. I was going to mention, talk about learning basketball, and and all that. But I've got a binder here that belonged to John Eaton, and it's got all kinds of handwritten notes and diagrams and just things that, there's so many different ways and coaching resources out there today. But man, I'll just sometimes sit in this office and open that up from time to time and look. So, obviously John passed away and several years ago, and but he's still making an impact. We've got one of his poems hanging in our locker room that he wrote about resolve that he wrote to his son. So really cool stuff.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I could definitely. We're sitting next to that at Pay Valley right here. I mean, and that, what makes me want to ask you is, for me, I was playing basketball, and I actually just told this story on the Mike Thrones podcast where I was in 8th grade. Grades were kind of slipping. I looked at my dad. He was ripping my ass. And I was like, Dad, getting a full ride scholarship playing basketball. What are you so worried about? My dad was way better than me in high school. And we were watching Syracuse play UConn at Syracuse. And he points to, the people at the very end of the bench that, have not gotten the game, still have their warm-ups on and everything. And he goes, but those players were, star athletes at their high school, won state titles. If you want to be something cool, that's the standard. And I was like, yep, no, I am not that good. So I knew right then and there, I was not, my career in sports was not going to go on playing. And so I was kind of like, well, how do I want to do that after I'm done playing? I realized coaching was something I kind of liked, and I don't know if I ever told you, but this man right here is the reason, what he did for me in my life and everything. I was like, I want to be able to give back, and that's why I want to be a coach. And plus, you don't get the competitive fire anywhere than you do being a coach. So what leads me to this is, what made you want to become a coach, and when did you be like, that I want to become a coach?
Yeah, that's so awesome you share that. I mean, I feel the exact same way about Coach Berg. I mean, I always tell people, my dad, I get chills talking about this, but my dad's had the biggest impact on my life, but a really close second is Coach Berg. And I can remember just playing in his program and seeing his passion, how hard he worked, and the fire that he brought every day, and just thinking that one day I wanted to do that for young men, and so that's something that meant a lot to me. And even to this day, Coach is a great resource for me, and he's just made a tremendous impact on me, and that motivates us to do that for our kids. And that was so. When did I know I wanted to be a coach? I don't know. I think my whole life I wanted to be a coach.
Yeah.
And it's just when the opportunity came, and just so blessed and so thankful. It's been such a blessing. But
especially too to be at your alma mater. I mean. Yeah. Can't say no to that, right? It's this is where it all came from.
Absolutely, yeah. To be here, and, just you go in the gym and see. Obviously, it's cool to see things that you were a part of, but then to look and understand the history of the John Eatons and the Mike Levengoose and the guys that came before you and all the work and the amount of success they had. It's just. It's every day. It's awesome.
Because I feel like when you're in high school, you kind of don't understand it. Even while you're doing it, you're like, yeah, I'm just doing it. And then you graduate and you're looking up, like you said, the banners. You're like, oh damn! Especially at Wheelersburg, I'm sure you guys are running out of wall room for all the banners that you have up there. Now, Adam, I know you had a question.
I was just gonna say, was there any pressure coming in, as a head coach, at your alma mater to win immediately?
Well, being an assistant here and being a part of a lot of success, I thought I was really prepared to be the head coach here. I'll never forget, our first game was at Waverly, and I was a nervous wreck. I'm struggling to fill out the book.
Hand shaking, I don't remember his name.
Yeah. What number does Braylon Rucker wear? But it was that caught me off guard a little bit. But I don't know that the pressure has been something that's really bothered me. Just some nerves there early on. But as we got into it, our kids are they just work so hard, and it's a joy that every day we get to come in here and work with them. And everybody sees what happens on Tuesday and Friday, but the real magic's happening throughout the week.
Oh yeah.
Was you coaching against Travis Robertson?
Travis had left. He had left the year before.
Okay. Well, he's an asshole, so you're better off.
Travis beat us, his fair share of times. And, of course, his son certainly helped the cause there.
For sure. Coach, and I've seen you coach, and I know you'll understand this, but and Clay's probably sick of me talking about it, But a lot of young coaches are afraid to let their players know that they care about them and they love them. They're afraid they're giving up some sort of, power or something. And what they don't understand is if you have relationships with your kids and they know you care about them, you can be as tough on them as you want to be.
He was tough on me a lot.
Because they understand you care about them, right? So, you understand that, right? How do you feel about that?
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a huge emphasis for us. And we had said, listen, we talk about loving kids. We talk about this being our ministry. Our coaching staff as a whole, we're very open about our faith and that God's blessed us to be able to do these things. And so we want this program to be our ministry. So we want our young men learning and growing, and that absolutely starts with relationships. Yeah. And our theme for this year as a staff has been, we have a standard that we're trying to meet here, but for each and every player, that's different and how we're going to help them get there. So we've got to be willing to meet kids where they are. Some kids are in really good situations, and to meet our standards doesn't take a lot other than some focus and some hard work. For some other kids, it takes a ton of education, and the way that we talk to those kids and the way that we relate to those kids is different. And so that's been an adjustment for us. That's where we've grown as a staff. I'm really proud of that. But 100% agree with you. Like, this business is about relationships, and kids got to know you love them. We tell our kids every day that we love them. We love you. We care about you. We want the best for you.
Because then they know when you're criticizing them, it's not personal. They know you care about them. You're criticizing the way they're playing. You care about them. You're trying to make them better. And they understand that. But without those relationships, they're going to quit listening real quick.
Yeah, like, I know you don't really hate my hat. You're just saying that.
I don't like your hat very well.
Now, Coach, I want to say something real quick about what you just said, of where it's like, obviously for some kids it's a lot easier, and for some kids it's a lot harder. And people that just say treat everybody the same, they're just to me, that's just so dumb and so blinding, because you really can't. You can't go treat the kid that, again, I'm not saying mean things about these people, but you can't treat the kid that, has a good home life, has two parents, has a support system at home, the same way you treat a kid that doesn't have that at home. You can't just expect the same out of them, expect them to act the same, expect them to be on the same. And what you're saying is you treat an elephant you ask an elephant to do an elephant thing, you ask a giraffe to do a giraffe thing. Like, you make
but
it.
But you don't ask an elephant to do a giraffe thing.
Exactly. You don't ask a giraffe to do an elephant thing. And I just love you saying that, because I feel like people we get so wrapped up, and obviously we want equality for everybody and stuff like that. But you don't want equality to the point where you're just treating everyone how you would treat a certain person. You need to treat everybody the way that they should be treated. And I know I completely butchered that, but I feel like you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do, absolutely. And that's what we try to say is, there's a big difference in fair and equal, and yes. we want to understand that we want to be fair with people, and our standard is the same across the board. Now, how we help you get to that standard, is going to look and feel different. And sometimes people look at it, it's like, hey, this is different, that's not fair. Well, in reality, it is fair. We're trying to help we love every kid the same. We want them all to succeed. We want them all to do well. But how we help, different kids get to different places, it is going to look and feel different times. And I think just reminding.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, I think just reminding our group of that at times, like, hey, we love and we want success for the group,
Yes.
And obviously in this world where a lot of individualism gets promoted and things like that, you have to constantly remind that individual sacrifice for group success. And along those ways, hey, we're doing this by helping you get there as an individual. So.
Coach Shu, I feel like I'm literally in our locker room in high school right now. Like, I literally the exact same stuff he said, because, obviously everyone wanted to be a scorer, and he just sat me in his office and said, look, buddy, really don't need you to shoot the ball unless you're, wide open, but we need you to play hard-nosed, hardcore defense. And I was like, sounds good. And, he said, I wanted to win, man. I wanted sectional titles. I wanted to play in district champion. I wanted to play in the convo. And he's like, okay, you want to do that? This is what you need to do. And I was like, cool. And, it worked. Now, Coach, we like to grill you with some sports questions, but before we get you out of here, we got to have a little fun. So, first off, we're big. Me and Shu love The Office. We could have a whole separate podcast about it. Is there a show that you like that?
Oh, yeah. The Office is one of them.
Hell yeah. I knew you were a good pick. I knew. That's why you're a winner. Dog. Yeah. You're a dog.
Welcome, Michael Scott, and our leadership philosophy.
Yes. Now, they were talking about the equality diversity. We should just show the Michael Scott diversity program video every day. But now, show obviously The Office. What about movies? Is there like a big? My wife's big into Harry Potter. I'm big into too many movies to name. Is there like a go-to movie? Like for me, sports-wise, Remember the Titans. Go-to every time I watch sports movies. Is there anything like that for you?
It's Hoosiers for me, and I know that's
I'm
probably a more basketball coach, but it is Hoosiers. I mean, it's I'll be honest, anything sports related, I'm in on.
Now, I will drop a little knowledge. My dad's old high school gym is in that movie. When they get in the fight and get thrown into the trophy case, he has a piece of wood from that gym, and it's pretty cool. All right, now, big question. You just won the 1 millionth district title in Wheelersburg basketball history. Where are you going, and what are you eating to celebrate?
Well, our staff, over the years, Applebee's has been a common destination for us.
Hell yeah.
We go to Applebee's, and the half-price appetizers help.
I can't beat them. Can't beat them at all.
We like to do that, and but actually, my dad's got he lives just a couple blocks away from the school here, and he's got a really nice setup with some TVs, a little outdoor bar area.
I was about to say, is he smoking some stuff? Is he grilling some stuff?
Yeah, so he usually fixes us up, and we end up at his house after big victories.
Hell yeah! All right, now last question, and then I think Shu and Adam have one more for you. If you had to say, not high school wise, but if you had to say, like you're like a coach or a player that you growing up or even now, try like idolize or kind of commemorate the way you handle yourself as, is there one out there for you? Or are you just like, man, I'm a dog, I idolize myself, which is a good answer.
No, definitely not me. Kobe Bryant. Kobe to me, you look at all the greats, and obviously, we talk about Michael and go on and on, but Kobe, to me, the work ethic that he had and the way that he maximized every ability, I just love all the countless Kobe stories. Some of those Olympic team stories where he's going to workouts and at 3 a.m. And
did you watch that Olympic movie on Netflix?
Yes, absolutely.
Dude, when they're like, it all changed when Kobe got there. Like, we came home from partying at 4 a.m., and he just woke up to go to the gym to practice. We were like, oh, shit.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Kobe in today's All-Star games?
Oh, my God, dude.
Now, there would be none of that messing around with him.
I can't watch it.
No.
I can't watch the All-Star. I said make it like baseball, winning conference, home team for the finals. Yeah.
But Coach, I can't tell this story on the podcast. I don't think.
You can.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can.
I don't think I can.
I think is it the Jimmy V one?
No.
Damn it.
Rick Scarberry. You know Rick? Yeah. Rick's an old friend of mine. And we would always I would take my kids down when he coached at Rock Hill for a scrimmage every year, and my kids would go stay with his kids, and Rick and I could go out and hit the bars or whatever. Then the next year he'd bring his team to Paint Valley, and his kids would go with my kids, and we would we'd go in Chillicothe, the Cozy or somewhere. But then he would stay at my house. Yeah, but okay, I'll tell it.
You're too deep.
So we go to a little bar in Wheelersburg, Rick and I, and it was I don't even know if it's still there, but it's fairly close to Wheelersburg High School, and you could tell it was kind of a shady place. This was like the late 90s. And we're walking in, and a guy's walking out, like holding his throat like this. And I said, what the hell was wrong with that guy? And Rick said, I don't know. So we go in, sit down at the bar. It's a true story. Rick will tell you. And all of a sudden we see flashing lights outside, and this guy was in the parking lot. He'd had his throat slit in the bathroom of this bar.
Oh my God.
That's a true story.
I did not think that's where that was going to go.
And he was doing this, and he was trying to hold his damn throat together. Ask Rick Scarberry when you see him.
I thought he was going to say the guy was choking. He gave him the Heimlich.
No, somebody slit his throat. It was a little dive bar somewhere near the school there.
I am so glad you told that story.
Rick could tell you the name of the place.
That was awesome.
It's a true story.
I've never walked by a guy that had his throat slit.
But that's one of my memories of Wheelersburg.
Coach, I know Adam has one question here for you.
Now, if you were to draft one player, one celebrity, non-athletic celebrity for a basketball team, who you drafted?
Oh, it's got to be Steve Carell.
Steve Carell?
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Dude, I love this guy. You got to come on more often, man.
You saw him playing defense in that episode where they're playing.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm sorry, but my favorite scene of
I like
that
this
show
guy a lot.
is when Stanley gets the ball and starts dribbling. He goes, "What is this?" It's like, oh man.
But then at the end, who was
Kevin?
Kevin is just like nailing
Draining
shots,
them left and
like
right.
hitting everything.
I looked it up. He actually did that. Like they would just start filming.
He's an athlete.
He made like 15 or 20 in a row. Like, and me and you've talked about it. You always see Kevin in the background, like that one where he makes like a 10-yard putt or whatever. Yeah. Like, it was insane. Coach, we can't thank you enough for coming on. It was amazing. Got a dog in here. We want to wish you the double dog. We want to wish you the most success on probably winning another state championship here for Wheelersburg. It's been awesome to watch you succeed. It's been awesome to get to talk to you about the office. And honestly, man, definitely in our top 5 favorite guests that we've had on the show.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Good luck,
ladies
Coach.
and gentlemen, the great Alex Prader. Man, that guy was awesome. As soon as you say you like The Office, I'm like, I knew you were a winner. I knew that's why you were born a winner.
He was a great interview.
Now, Coach.
Yes?
You win a sectional title. You're in the districts.
Yeah.
You're going to do a district title.
Did what?
I feel like you're controlling a little bit more than just your team at this point. Am I wrong? You're kind of controlling the community. Like, I remember you telling me people are just coming up to you being like, hey, when are we going to the convo?
Like with 5 games left in the season, I'd say, we got to. When you take over a program, and you have a little success, people can get pretty spoiled pretty quick. And it's not like we only won the league once, but we went to the convo. When I came back, we went 4 out of the 6 years, and my first stint,
I was part of a lot of them.
We went 3 out of the 5 years or whatever. But people get a little spoiled, and one of the problems is that I've encountered never happened so much the second time around, but the first time around, some of the younger kids coming in,
they think you go,
thought that they were just going to go without. They didn't understand the work that those. When I first came back, the guys had never been to the convo. They hadn't had any success, so they wanted it. They worked for it. Then we'd get there 2 or 3, 4 years in a row, and then these other kids would come in and think, well, just being on the team, we're going to get there.
No,
that's not how it works.
You got to puke in some trash cans.
And when I came back, you and Cody Drays and Cody Bryan and all those guys were hungry, man.
Yeah. I wanted the success, man. I wanted, like he said, I wanted my graduation year up on the Raptors, man. Raptors. That was stupid.
And the beautiful part of it is, I mean, I worked your asses off.
I can attest to that. Yes.
But then when you walk into that convo, you
suddenly
this was all worth it, man.
You want to know my first thought? Damn, I'm glad we didn't have to run stair labs here, man. That was my first thought. We walked to the convo because there were a lot of them. But
first time we went to the convo back in the early '90s, most of the guys had never even been there before, and one of my farm boys on a team, we come walking through it's always beautiful because you park the bus and you go through the tunnel and you come out and it's like angels are singing, like, holy shit, we're playing here.
Yeah.
And I let him walk around a little bit, and this kid looks around and he goes, boy, this place would hold a lot of hay.
Most Southern Ohio thing of all time, bro.
That was his first thought.
His big old silo.
Now, before we get to the draft shoe, again, we're drafting our celebrity basketball team. So,
oh, my God.
Yeah, can't draft a basketball player. It has to be a celebrity that doesn't play basketball.
You should have given me a heads up.
I thought it was like non-athletes altogether.
Yeah.
Like, I guess could you draft a football player?
No, you can't.
Yeah,
you can't draft
athletes.
an athlete. Like, it has to be like an actor.
How many do I have to have?
Just your starting 5.
Okay.
And then, but before we get to that, have you heard about the Professional Volleyball League, man?
No.
It is amazing. We have a team in Columbus, the Columbus Fury, 2-0. They have actually already kicked off their game tonight. They start at 7. And the cool thing about it is it's on YouTube. So you can go watch it for free. They have the leading assist in a career player on their team from Ohio State. The Columbus Fury are looking really, really good. They're looking like they're actually one of the top teams in the league starting off. So we are trying to get into that. We've been watching the games. We're going to turn it on after we leave here. And honestly, Shu, it's electric. Got to get to a game sold out. First game. They got nationwide. So if you guys
they're in a city that can get behind the team, too.
Yeah.
So.
And if you think about it, especially in Southern Ohio, like volleyball is huge. I'm sure it's huge throughout all of Ohio. So I'm sure it'll catch on quick.
And it's just because I guess I'm from Vinton County, but I haven't met a person really that cares about soccer as an American. But in Columbus, they care about the Columbus Crew, and that's not. I mean, that surprised me. But it's just because it's a professional team, they care about the Jackets. Columbus is going to care about their teams.
Exactly, and especially when they're good. And the Columbus Fury came out, accomplished that feat. They're damn good. Now, it is time for the draft. We are drafting celebrity basketball teams today. Again, can't be a pro athlete of any source unless they play cricket. I'll let you draft your favorite cricket players. We will start with me, and honestly, I thought that he was going to say my first pick. I'm going with my small forward, and I'm going with now, do I say the actor's name or can I say the character?
I thought we were going actual actors.
Okay,
like,
cool. The
it doesn't have to be. It could be a celebrity.
I'm
too.
going John Krasinski.
Okay.
Because I was just going to say
that's a
Jim
good
from The Office. Yeah. But I'm putting him at my small forward because.
See, I feel like Krasinski is a better pick than Jim because Krasinski now is like he's built.
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
He did Ghost Recon and was like, I'm in the gym. I'm never leaving the gym.
So yeah, I'm going him with my small forward. I feel like he's going to be my number one scorer. Shu, who are you going with your first one?
Power forward. Alan Richson.
Okay.
He is the guy who plays Reacher.
Yeah, no, it's Thad Castle.
In the new Jack Reacher series.
Okay.
He would know more as Thad Castle.
From Blue Mountain State.
He's
blonde?
Badass.
No,
yeah.
he's.
They are coming out with new Blue Mountain State. That is a great pick.
Power forward.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like you might have stolen one of Adam's picks.
Honestly, he wasn't on my board. I'm super disappointed that he's not.
Shu coming in.
As soon as he said his name, I was like, oh, he even got his actual name.
Yeah.
Like,
alrighty, so Adam, you're up. You get back-to-back picks.
I can pick one of the people on Tony's list because Tony's list is just the honorable.
Oh, yeah, we're just going to say his list at the end.
Cool. Point guard, Adam Sandler.
Nice. Yeah, he's a baller.
He's got that shot. There's a reason he was picked for Hustle, the movie Hustle. My nickname especially after high school, playing at the church and stuff like that, guy named Dustin Holsinger gave it to me, was just Sandler because I was constantly hitting that bank board.
If John Krasinski sucks as a human, a basketball player, then I did draft Jim from The Office, just to work that. Okay. Because that, yeah. But no, Adam Sandler, especially as your point guard. Sure, I'm surprised he kind of didn't go shooting guard there, but so now I want to see where you go with that. But who are you going with your second pick?
Wait a minute. How many's picking? Are all four of us?
Yeah, we're all picking
five.
No.
It's just the three of us, yeah.
Just three of us.
It goes,
okay. So you're going him two, then back to me. I got you.
So, actually, I will take him as my shooting guard because my actual point guard is going to be Jermaine Cole.
All right.
J. Cole, because,
That is actually really good, honestly. All right, so J. Cole, Adam Sandler. Shu, you're up. You have...
I'm going to go with a two-guard.
Okay.
Defensively, he will make Adam Sandler piss his pants.
I know
Keanu Reeves as John Wick.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, that's a good one.
If you
Keanu Reeves
try to score on him, he will cut you.
Wick. That is wild. Okay. Well, don't know where I should go after that. That
Pretty
was
badass team so far.
Yeah, that was a very good
Reacher
one.
and Wick. Come on.
I think I don't even know where to go here. Okay, so I know what I'm doing. I'm going power forward. I got to look up his name real quick because it just slipped me. Have you ever seen the movie Game Over Man?
Yeah.
The butler in that movie. Do you remember his name? Okay, well. That's what I'm picking as my power forward. I can't think of his name, but he's hilarious. Game Over Man cast. Should have been way more prepared for that. Well, if you can't remember his name, hopefully I can get him back because I'm going to go with my point guard now, and I'm going to keep it to the office. I'm going Steve Carell. Steve Carell as my point guard. And then who I'm going to go for as my shooting guard, I want to say, man.
It wasn't one of the main three, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Do with the glasses, because I shouldn't even have a pick right now. Hold on. This is how good this podcast is, because should have had this ready. Don't have it ready. Game over, man. Cast. I'm going to sound like an idiot as soon as I find it. Wow. I think. All right, I'm just going to pivot. Terry Crews is my power forward because I wanted to go with Terry Crews, but I thought this guy would be better. Couldn't remember this guy's name, so
now
here
technically Terry Crews played in the NFL.
Oh, damn, he did. So that doesn't count.
Yeah, because I was like, you could use Michael Irvin, but he only had the one movie. But I mean,
damn, because my backup. Okay, so Shu, you're up while I find this guy's name.
Shu, you're up.
Well, I got the shooting guard, defensive wizard with John Wick. I got the power forward. I'm going to go with a small forward, the laid-back, silk shooting Snoop Dogg.
Nice.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Snoop D-O double G at your
Very
small
involved in
forward.
athletics.
Yeah.
He coaches.
I know he has like a whole youth league right now for football.
Snoop. Plus, he'd keep everybody relaxed before the game.
Alrighty, so Adam, it's to you now.
And we said this was all time, right? Like we can go deceased.
Yeah.
Cool. My power forward is going to be Michael Clark Duncan.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Because, it's just a brute down low. Are wrestlers
See, I don't know.
off limits?
Because, like, it's technically a sport, but it's, like, stage. But, damn, they do some athletic shit.
I know. Like,
And they are technically paid athletes. So I don't think it would work.
okay, yeah. You can take odds on them on Vegas. That's where you can
Yeah.
take odds. Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I was going to do great colleagues. So I need some height. But so
It's hard because, honest to God, most of these people I know by their character names from shows.
yeah, I'm gonna have to look up. I'm going. Oh, this is just a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to go small forward. Probably gonna have to go like Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, wow. Underdog pick. Cool. Alrighty, so Shu, you're up. You got Keanu Reeves at your shooting guard, Snoop Dogg at your small forward, and Alan Ripson as your power forward.
Yeah, my center and my power forward are sort of interchangeable.
Okay.
But I've seen him play. He's got a lot of game. I'm going to go with Will Ferrell. As
Nice. That's insane. Will Ferrell from semi-pro. I mean, shows that he has it. Okay, I couldn't find that guy's name, and you guys didn't take him. So if I'm just gonna leave my power forward open, just in case one of you might take him. And if you don't, I'll take him at the end. So for my shooting guard, because this will round out my team. For my shooting guard,
Now, if I know this actor has played college ball, can I still pick him? Like it's non-professional.
yeah, because back in the day they weren't getting paid, and you couldn't bet on it.
Yeah.
So, no. So for my shooting guard, I want to go with somebody that is. Does Bruce Lee count?
He was a fighter. So I mean, technically, Chuck Norris would
Would that
always
fall under
lose.
the WWE?
Technically, he would be a athlete, though.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
professional
falling
athlete.
Okay, before I pick this one, I'm going with somebody I think might be a little on the sneaky side for you guys.
Oh, I know who it is now.
Vince Vaughn.
He was
on my list.
Yeah.
6'5", big boy.
6'5".
Vince Vaughn I'm actually putting him at my center. I want to have a big guard, so I'm going with Vince Vaughn right there. And then I need a center now. And
Wait,
honest,
you said you're going with him as your what?
as my shooting guard.
I thought you said as your center. So okay.
No, yeah. So for my center, I'm going Brad Garrett.
Yeah, no, that was my next pick.
Yeah, so he is on the Jimmy John's commercials.
Yeah, he played college ball.
Yeah.
Really? That's who I was talking about.
Okay,
He's
so
6'8".
we're all in favor of that
That's
pick
fine.
works, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going Brad Garrett. Shoes, back to you.
All right, I'm going to throw a wrench into the festivities here.
Uh-oh.
I was going to go with Kevin Hart as my point guard.
Yeah.
But I received a secret text from my friend Joe, Maggie's father, who was just on the show. And he pointed out to me that there's a guy that could have been the center.
Uh-oh.
But I'm putting him at the 6'8" point guard like Magic Johnson.
Oh.
Lead singer of the Smashing Pumpkins at 6'8", Billy Corgan.
Wow. Billy Corgan. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut pick.
Yeah, we're big. We're tall.
Yeah, you have Billy Corgan, Keanu Reeves, Snoop Dogg, Alan Ripson, and Will Ferrell.
Yeah, because Snoop's like 6'3", right? And I think Will Ferrell's 6'2" or 3".
Yeah.
I think he's like 6'4", 6'5".
Is he really?
Yeah.
And then you got Alan Ritchson, who's like 6'5", 280.
That's a squad you got there.
Yeah.
Now, Adam, you have just your center left, and if you don't pick my guy, finally, Steven Merchant is the guy I've been trying to figure out this entire time. That is my power forward. Thank God. Steven Merchant. Cool. So I got my team selected. Adam, you are a center away.
So I think I'm going to have to go with David Green.
David what?
David Green. He's a 7-foot guitar player.
Okay.
You just Googled.
I did. I was like, well,
Google
tall
and
musicians.
he took my guy. He took Garrett.
All
so
right,
I was like, well,
so-
I gotta find out somebody. My
Now-
next one was gonna be Richard Mole, but he was 6'8", and I was like, I gotta find somebody that's gotta be
Night court.
heads above people.
Now Tony's draft. Now he wasn't here today, so his are just all honorable mentions. He picked Nelly as his point guard.
I was gonna pick Nelly. Saw that I already picked 2 of Tony's. Was like, well, I can't pick a third.
Then he picked J. Cole as his shooting guard, Keanu Reeves as his small forward. He put Adam Sandler as his power forward, and then he put Medea, Tyler Perry, as his center. So that was a pretty stacked team. My team, I just tried not to draft all office people because I almost went Kevin Malone as my power forward. I couldn't do it.
That would have been a good one.
Yeah, but I just didn't want to draft. I was literally about to draft the office.
Dwight Schrute.
Now, Shu had Billy Corgan, Keanu Reeves, Snoop Dogg, Alan Ripson, Will Ferrell. Adam ends it with J. Cole, Adam Sandler, Michael B. Jordan, Michael Clark Duncan, and David Grade? Is that what you said? I couldn't really hear you.
Oh, no, it was Green.
Green. That's what I thought, but I couldn't understand.
Somewhere Justin Bieber is seething right now because he didn't get picked.
Well,
I saw his jump shot.
yeah. No, you
thinks
didn't
he's
because it's
good.
non-existent. So, well, that's a good wrap for the show. Oh, before we get out of here, guys, today's the anniversary.
It is.
It is the 12-year anniversary of the bowler, who you might know as
just recently retired.
Yeah. Who do you think you are? I am.
That's right.
It is the 12-year anniversary of that happening today. So that's
seemed
guy
like
the
it
Bowling
was-
Hall of Fame with that.
Happy
like it was
retirement.
much
Happy
longer
Happy
than that.
retirement. Now remember, Ride the Wave benefit concert. We are 2 Saturdays away, people. All proceeds go to Addison Edgerton March.
It's not this Saturday. It's next Saturday.
Yes, so like this Saturday's going to happen, and it won't happen.
It's going to be Ohio's Woodstock.
Yes, but then the Saturday after this is going to happen in Ohio Woodstock, the Ride the Wave benefit concert is going to happen at Creekside Occasions, 12 to 9,
12 to
March
9,
9th.
baby.
Silent auction, full of great shit. It's only $5 to get in. Comedy, great music, great people, great food, great vibes.
Just
Make
a
sure
great
you're
place
there.
to do
You will,
business.
10 years from now, 5 years from now, you will want to be able to say, I was there. When Moose Miller is at the top of the charts, you
Yes.
want to say it.
It's going to be a great time. And remember, also, mental health is a real thing. Be a friend, call a friend, be a friend, tell a friend that you're there for them. Check up on your friend Shu. Thank you for being our in-studio guest today.
Always
Great
enjoy
job.
it.
And Adam, thank you for always just looking as handsome as ever. And this is going to be a good show. Big things coming out of the Ride the Wave, so make sure they're sticking around and checking us on our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Andy, the guy behind the scenes.
Anderson, none of this that you're watching right now
Wouldn't happen
happening
without
him
Andrew.
and MVD. So peace out, Girl Scouts. We love you.
Love you, Tony.